I say? I said, hang on now, some math here. I said the U.S. truckers are costing between $165 and $170. Excuse me, $165, $170 a mile. But then I said we'd have to be about 4 times that for a Canadian trucker, but I'm wrong because I was thinking in liters, not kilometers. It's 1.6 kilometers to the mile. So basically I'd add, I guess you could say 60%. So if they were at 170 or 160, trucker, if they do a 10-hour day, that's 1,000 kilometers, that'd be $2,500. Now, here's my problem with that. You're still going to lose money. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why you're going to lose money. Tax. The tax is going to get you. That's where everybody loses their money because they don't factor in the tax. That little shitbox Honda 4-banger. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Does that sound about right to you? Yeah. Would you? I don't know if you could make money because, okay, whatever you're taking out per kilometer for wages, right? Maybe the guy's getting 10 cents a kilometer. He still has to pay tax on that, right? Your insurance, you've already paid the tax on, and the fuel you get money back for, right? But depends on who's paying for the fuel. The client is ultimately always pays for the fuel. It just does it come out of your pocket or their pocket first, right? So if you got like a fuel card from the company, no problem. You know, you don't even, you know. But some companies say, yeah, this is all the fuel we're giving you. And they might try to shortchange you on the fuel. See, that place burnt down last 2 weeks ago. That was a nice place too. All kinds of old cars and stuff there. But yeah, it's like the tax. Like you gotta add in the tax. Big bad Dodge there. So you start adding in the tax, well, I think it could be about $3-4 a kilometer. You know, like whatever you're charging, you almost have to double charge double for tax. You know, because we're, you know, big things are taxed at least at 50%, and then plus there's carbon taxes up here in Canada, which, just so you know, something to be really happy about. In 4 years, they've raised the carbon tax about 20% per year, average, right? So it was 20 bucks a ton, now it's 80 bucks a ton, just a couple years later, and it's going to go up every year by 20%. So if you have a truck, you know, it's a couple extra $1,000 bucks. And I was like, yeah, but you get so much in rebate, you actually get more back in taxes than what you're paying, right? Now, dumb people believe that kind of math because it goes like this. You give the government $100 feel it. You feel it out of your wallet. Right? You feel it out of your wallet. Yeah, so we're going to end up with a tax revolt if they keep going with this. Because, like, the cap and trade is still there on top of that. That was a scam. That was a bad enough scam as it was, right? And now add the carbon tax on top of cap and trade, which are all scams. It only makes politicians wealthier. It doesn't help the little guy at all. It doesn't help. Oh, well, we're going to invest in wind farms, stuff that fails. Like, it's all just money thrown away. Our hospitals, we got 36-hour wait times in our hospitals. And you think really people care about new energy products of untested technology? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying don't test technology. What I'm saying is prioritize. So we have, like, there's so many people, and I get on a lot of people, it's because it's political partisanship, not actual, they've done the math and say, hey, okay, I may be a liberal, but this carbon tax thing is a scam. I may be an environmentalist, but this carbon tax thing isn't helping the weather be gooder. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that, right? So what I say to that is just like, God help us how expensive it is going to get, right? Like, this truck runs on diesel, right? That diesel didn't get